afternoon and rank it. Problem solved.
Are you deciding the rules, Chris?
I am now. Yeah. I'm just spending some more PDC money and a bit of ITV money, but I think this event warrants it. It's got enough history now. We want the players to want to win it. So to make it a major, make it ranked.
It's always been the curtain raiser.
Change the format, do something new.
It's always been the curtain raiser of the season. Yes, okay, we've seen World Series events now put in January for obvious reasons, and the first time the Premier League started last night, but it is the curtain raiser for the players to see what level they're at, because obviously other players have been playing in the World Series events, other players haven't, so it gives them a chance and opportunity to see what level they're playing at ready for the season.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at what we have to look forward to tonight. Which of the players would you pick out as need to have a decent tournament? Because the vast majority haven't played since the World Championship. There are only a couple that have played.
The big one that stands out for me more than anything is Ross Smith, because it's the season where his money from the European Championship comes off, and he's not really had that opportunity to get some of that back. So he's going to lose over £100,000 in October. So he's got the rest of the season to get himself back up there. He's not playing badly, but what he's not doing is just getting over the line on certain occasions or in really tight matches, because he's averaging really well and playing okay. But in this game, if you just take your foot off the gas for 1 second, you could go on losing.
I think Jonny Clayton's desperate to get some confidence and get on a run, and of course he got fond memories of winning down here. I'm personally looking forward to Cullen against Josh Rock. Again, two players that need to start the season strong. And go on and have a really, really big season. But there's a lot of players whose form is a worry, who didn't have particularly strong campaigns at the Worlds, and will be desperate just to listen. Yes, it's not ranked, but it's still a big event. You know, it carried a lot when it was the Premier League spot on the line. But in terms of confidence and a bit of prestige at the start of the season, it's a big tournament.
Only Van Duijvenbode and Dimitri van den Bergh have actually played since the Worlds, and they both lost their opening matches in the Dutch Darts Masters. Do you think that makes a difference at all? Because you talk about form, it's like, how do we really know what their form is?
Well, because we haven't had that extended break. Normally we come into this one, they've all been off to the Caribbean somewhere, and they've all, some of them had 5-6 weeks off. That's not the case anymore with the introduction of the two World Series events, and of course the Premier League, which started last night. One player who's not playing tonight but will be tomorrow is Michael Smith, whose confidence going into this now will be sky high, especially when you look at his route to winning last night's Premier League. And that's what these events are all about. It's all about restoring confidence and finding that something that's been missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to reiterate that as well. It is finding out from your own perspective how you're feeling in going into the season. You want to win your first game, I suppose that you can say that with any event, but you want to get through this one and then just see how you can develop towards the end of the tournament, maybe even win it, get to a final, and then move on for the rest of the season.
Finally, give me one name each. Who's going to win it?
I think Dobey.
Michael Smith.
Michael Smith, thank you very much. For now, plenty of work for you two to be doing. We have 8 matches to get through this evening, starting with a musical clash of styles. Heavy metal, Ryan Searle. That's a big major, the world champion and the world #1, Luke Humphries, who we spoke to live just a few moments ago. And heavy metal takes on Dirk van Duijvenbode, who's got some kind of musical taste of his own, hasn't he? Here we go, via John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're joining us live on ITV4 from the Marshall Arena here in Milton Keynes. Hello and a very warm welcome to the Cazoo Masters, all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. From England and taking part in his 3rd Masters Championship, the winner of 4 PDC titles, heavy metal Ryan Searle. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen from the Netherlands, taking part in his third Masters. The winner of 6 PDC titles, a World Grand Prix finalist, the Titan, Dirk and Diamond.
Well, that's pumped up the crowd, all right. Pumped up in the commentary box for us as well. Mark Webster and Stuart Pike. Good evening, both.
Yeah, hello, Jackie. The 12th staging of the Masters. And we have 3 debutants, 9 countries involved in this edition this weekend here at Milton Keynes. But this is a big tournament, and it's a big year for the big man from Holland, Dirk van Duijvenbode. 13 in the world as it stands, but he's won just 1 game in the last 4 months, riddled by the shoulder problem, which he's desperately trying to repair, to get back to the form that got him into the top 16 in the world. So this tonight will give him a gauge of exactly where he is against one of the toughest opponents around, isn't he? Ryan Searle, 20 in the world these days. A disappointing world championship for him. But he's one of the players that you probably wouldn't think of in terms of winning this tournament, but is more than capable of doing just that. We shall see 3 debutants this year. We'll see them all later. Andrew Gilding, Josh Rock and Martin Schindler. But to get us underway, it's Van Duijvenbode against Searle for the right to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, it's Dirk to throw first.
In the second round on Saturday night.
The start from Dirk van Duijvenbode. He has shown glimpses. There was a good set World Championship when he played Boris Krčmar, but he's just not getting the rhythm and being free of pain for long periods of time. He's going to have to be patient with it. If he can just keep playing through, he'll back himself to rediscover that form in a turbulent couple of months for Dirk van Duijvenbode.
45.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the 1 win coming in the group stages of the Grand Slam. That was against Steve Lennon, but apart from that,
81.
He has suffered and suffered and suffered. But yeah, wasn't too bad in the world. So you say against Krčmar was awful. Played really poorly in the Dutch Darts Masters last week. And the shoulder, it's actually to do with the shoulder blade.
44.
Which, when he moves it, constantly throwing, the actual blade, you can see in there, just shaking it off, tightening
28.
up, moves out of place, and he's having treatment on a weekly basis. At the moment, surgery is not an option, but somewhere down the line it may well be, because
57.
It's a tough old world, isn't it? If you're struggling, then there's no sympathies.
123.
Sliding down the ranking, so it really is a big year for him.
Yeah, there might be a decision to be made for Dirk at some point of whether to, like you said, if he needs surgery or just needs to take some time off. It might be a case of having to take a few steps backwards to ultimately
90.
get back to where he wants to be. He'll be disappointed that he wasn't competitive in the Dutch Darts Masters last week. But he's got a chance to win the opening leg, but he's under pressure now after that maximum from Ryan Searle.
You see, that's the problem. He
45.
missed the big
Ryan
16.
required 44.
He's overcompensating, isn't he, for the shoulder problem. Ryan Searle wasn't even in this leg until about 30 seconds ago. But somehow he's won it. That sort of sums up the way that things have been going for Dirk. He was in off the post, but they all count, and Searle goes 1 up in a race to 6.
Tough leg to lose for Dirk, that one. When you've got won the ball advantage of throwing first, you kick off with a match, you expect to go on, to get an opportunity to win the leg. He didn't even get a dart at a double. And obviously Dirk's confidence is fragile because of the injury, and that opening leg won't do him any good.
Just to give you an idea of Dirk van Duijvenbode's struggles since
85.
The World Grand Prix, when his shoulder injury first really came to the fore, he's averaged just 83 across every tournament. That's his average over
99.
all tournaments in the last 4 months, 83. And at the moment it's down at 77. He started brilliantly with a maximum, but received very little else since.
60.
It must be mentally really tough for him, because he's turning up at tournaments and he's not quite sure how it's going to be and has no idea about how he's going to play.
No, it don't even look like that. But 12 months ago, Stu, we're talking about him maybe the next cab off the rank for the major title. And he almost won his maiden European Tour title last year in Trier. Things were looking good for Dirk halfway through the year. We're talking about him as a Premier League wildcard, but at the minute, it's just about rediscovering some form, and that's not down to his dedication. It's down to an injury that he just needs to manage, and it's just proven very tough for Dirk of late.
Ryan, you required 36.
He was in the mix. He was in the chatter for the Premier League. 9-9 for Searle.
Game shot on the second leg.
2-0 to Ryan Searle.
Third leg starts to throw first. Game on.
Last year, Searle beaten in the first round by Dave Chisnall. Memory serves me right. It went to a last leg decider, but
he had chances, didn't he?
He missed a stack of darts, didn't he, Searle, to win it?
It was one of those games that he let slip rather than Dave winning it. Disappointed 50. For Ryan. When he does have a poor game, he kind of disappears in a match. He'll know he needs to find that B game to help him compete, because his high-end level is very competitive. He's a good finisher when he's on song. He's a big scorer.
96.
Can disappear at times, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good point. His best game is right up there.
100.
The world's top players, but beneath that level, not consistent enough, and he'll be the first to admit not good enough.
Lost a couple of finals, Ryan Searle, on the Pro Tour too, Dirk van Duijvenbode last year. He was well beaten in one of them. He's made a good start here.
100.
There's a little bit of pressure on Ryan as well because of the injury. People whispering in his ear, you should win this game, Ryan. You've got a good draw here, Ryan. Because of the injury, not because of the ability of Dirk. So he's got to try and not be complacent.
90.
Absolutely certain that people would have been in his ears since the World Championship, and we knew what the draw was going to be.
137. Dirk required 136.
It's that sense of security, isn't it? They'll all be saying, it's a gimme, it's a buy, you're going to win this. And then all of a sudden you start thinking, and but he's doing what he 54. Has to do.
Ryan, you require
thus far,
114.
looking at 114 for 3-0.
Can't find the treble, so a chance here for Dirk. And he had this similar equation in the opening leg, but he didn't find the minimum dart at the bullseye. He'll start on the bullseye here, you'd expect. And he got it, so some darts at double here. Brilliant from Dirk van Duijvenbode. And we're talking about, obviously, the injury. He can't play his fluent best, but he will scrap Dirk. He'll work hard and gets a leg on the board and half the deficit.
100.
We mentioned this is the 12th staging of the Masters. 4 ever presents: Van Gerwen, Wright, Chisnall and Wade. Now, just looking back to the very first Masters,
59.
You may remember, staged in Edinburgh. It was won by Phil Taylor, of course, beat Adrian Lewis in the final. Searle hits the third max to take control of this leg. It featured the likes of Andy Hamilton, Kevin Painter, Terry Jenkins, Robert Thornton, Justin Pipe.
100.
Back-to-back 180s. Good response from Dirk. But that's funny how things change in
97.
Just 10 years, because 10 years in darts isn't a great deal, is it?
We've had a huge turnover of players, though, haven't we? And then we've got the extended format as well.
92.
16 players
Right
originally, now up to
124.
You mentioned winner to face Nathan Aspinall, that's the seed. But
88.
looking beyond that, there's technically no seed in the potential
170.
quarter-final. It's Daryl Gurney, Joe Cullen or Josh Rock then. Daryl Gurney is replacing Gedwin Price, the seed who were due to meet in the quarter-final. So a good section of the draw here for someone.
80. Right, you required 36.
So a chance here for Dirk.
Dirk, you require
A
90.
lovely 2-dart 82 finish in the last leg. Oh, brilliant. Bull for double 16. Now bull for top, bull for double 10.
Game shot on the fourth
Could that
leg.
be a game changer?
Diamond.
Great way to go. Superb from the Dutchman.
Credit to him. Could have started feeling
Fifth
sorry
leg,
for himself when he lost the
first.
first couple of legs. He was
Game on.
averaging sort of mid-70s. He's up around about 91 now, Dirk van Duijvenbode.
Look back as well. I mean, this tournament always appears to be wide open. And since
61.
the field was extended from 16 to 24, the winners have been seeded 18, 11 and 21.
43.
So the Masters is no gimme for the so-called top players.
Well, two of them wouldn't have even been in it, would they, of the old format? So it's open doors, and obviously those three winners, it was played before the Premier League, got themselves in it. Jonny, Joe Cullen, and Chris Dobey.
85.
First time it's been played after the beginning of the year, once the Premier League started.
180.
4 180s in 5 legs now for Searle.
Dirk was a quarter-finalist here last year, lost to the champion, Chris Dobey. Battling hard here.
81. $57.
I would say that Van Duijvenbode will be encouraged, despite the fact that it looks like he's about
127.
to suffer another break of throw and go 3-2 down, but certainly encouraged by the performance.
And he's finding spells as well. And if you can find spells, you can work your way back into games. Just these little patches that we saw the 90 finish, the 82.
70.
It does look like he's going to have his throw broken again here, but he's in the game.
Game
Nice and fluent from Ryan Searle, neat and tidy. Leads again halfway to the last 16.
Game on.
And of course, the other thing, Mark, is that he's having to change and adapt his throw all the time,
140.
depending on how sore the shoulder is. So it looks the same, but sometimes
140.
there's a bit less oomph in the throw, if you know what I mean, because he's always thrown a hard dart, hasn't he, Dirk?
97.
Just you could see there he's just a bit despondent with the last dart. He's just taking his time a little bit more as well, just maybe setting up. Can still be effective.
100.
There, the ton 40 in the turn. He's had a couple of 180s as well.
Worth mentioning that they played twice at
100.
TV majors before, Van Duijvenbode winning both at the Players' Championship and the World Match Play. Went all the way to a final
91.
leg in the
Right,
Players.
required
10-9,
164.
10-8 I think it was at the match play, always been close.
One was
Dirk required
Number 5, I think.
170.
What a chance now for Van Duijvenbode. The level once again. Not taking it.
37.
yeah, he made a bit of a mess of
Right,
it, Dirk.
required
All the way to 34
130.
from Searle, and then 37 from the Dutchman.
Searle can't find the treble because the setup was so poor from Dirk. Couple of trebles
58.
needed.
Dirk required 133.
Still not comfortable for Ryan, even if Dirk doesn't take out the 1-3-3. But it's on.
93. Right,
couple of doubles.
72.
He went treble double on the 19s, didn't he? One dart for Searle.
32.
So Van Duijvenbode
Dirk required 40.
to hit straight back. Big moment here in the opening match of the 2024 Masters.
Game shot the sequence.
Credit to Dirk again, he's hanging around in this match. He's had setbacks, he was 2-0 down, got back to 2 apiece, he went 3-2 down, and he breaks straight back there. And maybe that little bit of complacency is creeping in with Ryan Searle. Doubling pretty good from, well, very good, 3 from 4.
58.
He's just a bit disappointed. He's not being a bit more forceful when he gets that sort of initiative. When he got it back to 2-all, he dropped his throw. He's got it back to 3-all now.
131. $57.
Already had 4 breaks to throw.
70.
But Van Duijvenbode are very much in this. It didn't look good for him, did he? As he went 2-0 down. However,
125.
fair play to him. As you say, he's a real battler.
It is tough. We were talking about maybe taking some time off and addressing it. But when you're in tournaments that guarantee prize money, you kind of got to go, haven't you? Keep yourself trying to stay up the rankings, and you never know. That could be the one way you turn it round. And
if
not at his fluent best. He's giving it a good go here, Dirk.
140. Dirk required
So,
121.
eyeing up another break of throw, unless Dirk can find this. He needs the ball. Fantastic from Van Duijvenbode. What a finish. And this is much more like it. It's amazing what a bit of confidence and belief can do. And he's getting some from this game for sure.
3 of the 4 legs that he's won, Dirk. The ball has been part of the combination. We saw it there to finish. And then he's used it as the setup on 82 and on 90. And finds himself 2 legs away.
139.
What can only be a rare win. We talked about his last win was at the Grand Slam in a group game against Steve Lennon.
140.
Well, this by no means a gimme for Ryan Searle, despite what he may have been told many times in the past 3 weeks or so.
93. $91.
The tour gets underway fairly soon. The Pro Tour, and it'll just come thick and fast, won't it, with the Players' Championship and the European Championship, or the European Tour events.
134. Brian, you require
UK opening
130.
just under a month as well. All tour card holders feature. Oh, look at this from Ryan.
125.
Just inside. An opportunity for Dirk here. It's a big ask. Even if he doesn't take it out, there's a bit of fiddling to be done from Ryan Searle on the 5.
$49. Ryan, you require 5.
And there's the big 1. And there's a double 2. Credit Ryan Searle. Can get messy. Anything sort of in those reads where double 2, double 1 could potentially come into play, but he bounces back 4 apiece. But effectively now at a best of 3 leg game. Advantage Dirk.
44.